It began at 3:17 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. All over the world, people suddenly noticed something eerie, a darkness deeper than night, a silence beyond sound. The stars, normally drowned by city lights, blazed bright and raw. The moon vanished, and worst of all, the sun simply didn't rise. Hour 1 to 3. Confusion and denial. At first, no one knew what was wrong. Cities still glowed with artificial lights, and many shrugged it off as a bizarre eclipse or astronomical glitch. News stations scrambled for answers. Scientists reached out to observatories and satellites. There were no solar flares, no warnings. The sun was just gone. Office like a light switch. Hour 4 to 8. Panic and realization. As morning failed to arrive, panic began to set in. Social media exploded. Conspiracy theories bloomed like weeds. Alien attack? Government experiment? The end of days? Planes grounded? Power grids overloaded? Supermarkets were raided as people hoarded food, batteries, candles. Meanwhile, temperatures began to fall rapidly. Without solar radiation, Earth's surface started to lose heat at an alarming rate. In equatorial regions, the temperature dropped to freezing. In temperate zones, snow began to fall by midday. The polar regions became instant deep freezes. Hour 9 to 12. The death of light animals were among the first to react. Birds stopped singing. Cows refused to eat. Insects became disoriented. Plants, deprived of photosynthesis, began a slow process of shutdown. Crops froze in the fields. Coral reefs, already weakened by climate change, began to die without light and warmth. Humans, too, were vulnerable. Power grids in less developed areas failed quickly. Heating systems couldn't keep up. Families huddled together for warmth. The elderly and infants began to succumb to hypothermia. Governments declared states of emergency. Tensions rose between nations, each suspecting the other of some global sabotage. Hour 13 to 20. A world on the brink oceans began to cool from the surface down. Storm systems stalled or vanished entirely. Wildlife fled south, but many didn't make it. Massive power outages rippled across continents. Wind turbines slowed. Solar farms stood useless. Only nuclear and hydroelectric power remained stable. For now. Riots broke out in cities. Looting became common. Hospitals filled with frostbite and hypothermia victims. Mental health nosedived. Without the sun, people became disoriented, depressed, primal. Sleep cycles shattered. Time lost all meaning. Hour 21 to 24. A dimming hope. By the final hours, Earth had plunged into an eerie twilight of cold starlight and desperation. Scientists worked frantically to keep satellites in orbit, fearing they'd soon freeze or fall. The global temperature had dropped by an average of 20 degrees Celsius, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Glaciers were already growing. Some regions reached minus 40 degrees Celsius, even lower with wind chill. Just as humanity teetered on the edge of chaos at exactly 3:17 a.m. the next day, the sun returned. Not gradually, instantly. A blinding golden flash across the horizon. Animals stirred. Birds chirped. Ice began to melt. People fell to their knees in gratitude, in disbelief. The world breathed again. Aftermath. In the weeks that followed, billions were left shaken. Entire ecosystems had shifted or collapsed. Food shortages loomed. Insurance industries went bankrupt. But the event, now known as the Dark Day, became the greatest shared trauma in human history. Scientists never found an explanation. It was as if the sun had simply turned off. And while life resumed, humanity never forgot the 24 hours when light disappeared. From then on, we worship the sun not as a mere star, but as a fragile miracle we could no longer take for granted.